at the moment. I have right here a statement from the presidency signed by the president, and I'm going to read it. The heading is President Akufo-Addo announces the death of former President Jerry John Rawlings. It is with great sadness that I announce to the nation that the first president of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, has joined his ancestors. This tragic event occurred at 10:10 a.m. on Thursday, the 12th of November 2020, at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, where the former president was receiving treatment after a short illness. I convey the deep sympathies of government and the people of Ghana to his wife, the former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, the children and family of the late president in these difficult times. I have directed that all national flags should fly at half-mast for the next 7 days in all parts of the country, and have declared 7 days of national mourning from Friday the 13th of November to Friday the 20th of November in honor of the memory of former President Rawlings. The Vice President and I have suspended our political campaigns for same period. Government will work closely with the family of President Rawlings on the arrangements for a fitting state funeral for the late president and will keep the nation informed accordingly. A great tree has fallen, and Ghana is poorer for this loss. May his soul rest in perfect peace in the bosom of the Almighty until the last day of the resurrection, when we shall meet again. Amen. And that's signed by the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. But in the meantime, Winston, no doubt people take news differently. But this is something which across the nation has stopped everything in its tracks. The NPP now announcing that their campaign, the president and vice president are going to suspend their campaign for 7 days. Yeah. Half-mast, all flags will fly at half-mast for 7 days. The president says a giant tree has fallen.
I mean, exactly, Kojo. And, I was talking, while we were discussing the influence of Mr. Rawlings in the NDC, now the latter years of Mr. Rawlings, would show you a man who would speak the truth. And so even within the NDC, as much as there were persons who were unhappy with his utterances, because of the sort of respect he commanded, that by virtue of his position, having been president of this country, many people could not openly speak against him. Only few people would do so. And you had instances where, there were plans, for instance, to get young boys to take Rawlings on. And that was the belief at the time was because he didn't want to be challenged. He said he was going to stop doing that. Now, also when President Akufo-Addo became president, we've been talking about his relationship with President Akufo-Addo. And so you saw a man who, in his latter years, was becoming more like a go-to person. So a lot of NDC persons dare not openly say, you are this. Even if they had differences with him, they would say, oh, that's Mr. Rawlings. And a lot of NPP persons were also happy because in talking about the challenges the country had faced, Mr. Rawlings wouldn't spare anybody. And so if you're in government, you probably would be excited that if a man can take on his own party, he certainly, would for some reason help your cause, even though it may not just be so. Okay, Mr. Rawlings had caused a complaint, for instance, that there were certain persons in the NDC who were thinking about Agenda 2024 and not Agenda 2020. So he was one person who, you could hate him, but you wouldn't hate the things that he says.